You're listening to the Farm Report Podcast with Jake and Corey, brought to you by Indians Baseball Insider and broadcast on the Smoke Signals Podcast Network. We're talking Tribe.
Listen, let's play ball. Shoot it around. Let's play ball, baby. Bang down the stones. Play ball.
Well, good day, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever and whenever you happen to be tuning in, we are glad to have you aboard. I am Jake Dunn, a minor league content coordinator for Indians Baseball Insider, and this is the Farm Report Podcast. We are coming to you from Eastwood Field here in Niles, Ohio, where the Mahoning Valley Scrappers are here to take part in Media Day before they open the season tomorrow night. And joining us right now is the Mahoning Valley Scrappers beat writers for Indians Baseball Insider. First, as always, Corey Christen. Corey, glad to have you.
Welcome to my house, Jake. Welcome to Niles. Welcome to it's a little east for you, I think, but it's great to be here. I'm as excited as ever. Media Day is here, and the season opens tomorrow. Some of these draft picks are coming in, and we got some goodies for you listeners out there today. Glad to be back, Jake.
Yep, and joining us as well, the other half of our Scrappers beat writing tandem is Dave Roberts. Dave, welcome aboard. Glad to have you.
Thanks, Jake. Glad to be here.
All right, so we are here talking to. We're going to be talking to some of the Scrappers players here, some new faces, some familiar faces returning from last year. But one of the new faces is manager Edwin Rodriguez, who is not new to the organization. He's been here for quite a while with the Indians. He spent the last couple of years as a roving instructor. He has managed before. He managed in 2013 in Akron, and this year he'll be taking the helm here for the Scrappers. So, Corey, I'll start with you. What are you excited about? What jumps out at you about this team that you're excited about?
Well, with Edwin managing, replacing Travis Fryman, obviously, I think Edwin has been there, done that, just as much as anyone else you could put in this position. I'm looking at the roster that we got today, and some of these players have been here before, obviously, some haven't. We're going to see some exciting talent here at Mahoning Valley. Of course, Tristan McKenzie and Juan Hillman, rounds 1 and 2 picks from last year's draft, 2015. Obviously, they spent last season in the Arizona League developing there, and Dave talked to Tristan and Juan, so we'll hear from that later. But Edwin, just what he testaments to developing in this level, and that's really what it's about. You see a lot of Akron, Jake. So those guys are kind of polished. Of course they're not there yet. Everybody has something to work on when you're in the minors. But these guys they're still learning. They're learning a lot. They have a lot to go, a long way to go. And I'm looking at the roster. We got Juan Gomes, the younger brother of Jan Gomes, here with us. Some returning Scrappers from last year. Talking about Jod Carter, Salento Sales, Gabriel Mejia, Nate Winfrey, Emmanuel Tapia. He spent last year on the DL mostly, so it's a solid roster that they put together. And last year they only won 31 games. They were last in the division. So from a team perspective, and for the area and for economics and all of that, it's good to have a nice solid roster here. You got the guys from last year, and then you got guys like Luke Wakamatsu, and I talked about Juan Gomes coming in along with McKenzie and Hillman. So you got new pieces coming in, old pieces coming back, and it's a nice mix that Edwin Rodriguez has to work with. Yeah, well, I'm familiar with Edwin Rodriguez's work in Akron in 2013. He had some very nice players that came through there that year, not including, but not limited to Francisco Lindor, Jose Ramirez, Jesus Aguilar, Giovanni Urshela. So he's had experience working with a lot of top talent. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how he handles some of the new guys coming in. Dave, I want to bring you in. When you look at this Scrappers roster and this team, what jumps out at you, and what are you excited about to watch this year?
Like you mentioned before, guys, you got two of the top round picks in the starting rotation for the McKenzie and Hillman. I think pitching is going to be fun to watch those two on the mound. Offensively, a lot to like. I think Wakamatsu. I think I read about him last year. He didn't play, but he did really show some talent, and I'm hoping to see. I've heard good things about Mitch Longo as well, the draft pick from this year. So hopefully we'll have a good balance, because in the past year, Scrappers either had pitching or they've had offense. Hopefully they can put it together this year and maybe have a winning season.
Yeah, Longo, local product. So what we're gonna, without further ado, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right in and talk to some of these guys. We took the liberty of talking to some of these guys separately as well as together. So I know Corey talked to a couple guys, Dave, you talked to a couple guys, and then we of course all came together to talk to Edwin Rodriguez. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, we're here now talking to Edwin Rodriguez, the Mahoning Valley Scrappers manager this year. First of all, Edwin, what's it like to get back managing in the system?
Well, it's last time I managed in the system, that was back in 2013.
In Akron, yep.
In Akron. And then 2014 and 15, I was kind of a special assignment. They were sending me different places. And I'm very excited. I asked for this. Back in November, they called me and they asked me if I know somebody to manage here. And I said, of course, this is myself. So that's why I'm here. I really enjoy that.
What's the goal of short season physically? So it's only half a season compared to every other level.
Right.
What are you guys really hoping to achieve with these guys at this level?
Well, definitely, we want them to win. We want them to play to win. We want them to play to win a championship. I will manage to develop players, to develop their abilities. I want them to play to win. So that my goal is that when the season is over, every one of those players will be closer to the big leagues.
What's it like? You got Juan Hillman, Tristan McKenzie, two of the top picks from last year's draft on your roster now. What's that like for you as a manager to be able to pen those guys into your starting rotation, and what do you expect to see from those two throughout the season?
Well, it's just I expect them just to learn to play at the professional level. This is going to be the first full season. The first season competing. Back in Arizona, it's kind of more developing. But this year, they're going to be playing in front of some big crowds for them. So I want them to learn to manage the whole approach of how to play in front of the crowd, how to play, how to bounce back after a tough road trip and all that. So right now, of course, we want them to put some good numbers, but at the same time, we want them to learn to be a professional.
Yeah, those guys have baseball experience with the organization already, but some of these draft picks that are coming in, how do you go about managing draft picks? You talk about teaching them and developing them, but how do you go about teaching a draft pick who's getting their first taste of pro ball?
Well, first, they have to understand that this is professional baseball, which wherever they were playing, either high school or college, they were they were the top players on their team or their league. Here in professional baseball, they're going to be facing either same kind of level playing where they were pretty much everybody, or even better players. So they have to understand that they came in and they just another guys here and they're competing with professional baseball players. So they have to understand that there's a way to approach the game, and it's a long season for them. Although it's 76 games, I believe, but you're playing 76 games in 3 months. So it's hard. They have to understand that it's a long season for them. Although it's a short season for them, it's going to be first time experiencing this kind of season.
You've got a lot of talent that's new to this level this year. You talk about the pitching talent, some of the position player talent, like guys like Luke Wakamatsu and Gabriel Mejia, Mitch Longo, guys like Juan Gomes behind the plate. Talk about some of the position player talent you have and how you go about managing them this year.
Well, although they're young and some of them is going to be the first time this kind of competition, I think that their character, their approach to the game, they know how to go about their business, either in rookie ball, down in Arizona, or short season here in New York Penn. I think they're very mature for their age and for their experience. So it's going to be very easy for me to teach them how to approach the game. Maybe I will point out some things that they have to work on, but their approach toward the game and how to be a professional, they're very solid.
Talking about your experience working with players in the past, you work with some of the top players that come through the organization, like Francisco Lindor, Jose Ramirez, some of those guys, like back when you were in Akron, I'm sure you work with more as a roving instructor. Just what experience we can take from that experience working with those guys, and how do you apply that to your managing this year?
I think that they have with the message that I'm going to send to these young guys this year is even the top guys that I work with. The Francisco Lindor, like you mentioned, Jose Ramirez, Aguilar, first base, Ochoa, our third base, and before I got to the organization, Josh Hamilton was in this league, New York Man, when I managed him. So it's pretty much the same. They approach the game, although they enjoy the game and they approach the game as a game, but they're very serious. They're very professional about the preparation for the game. So that's going to be the message I'm going to send.
All right, well, Edwin Rodriguez, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thanks. Good luck this season. Looking forward to watching these guys play.
Thank you guys.
All right, next we talked to Tristan McKenzie. Now, Dave, you had the chance to talk to McKenzie. Now, what vibe did you get from him and talking with him?
First impression is he's really tall. I mean, it's listed him at 6'5", but honestly, I felt like he was even taller. He is very skinny. He lifts him at 165, which is probably about right. But I think what I really liked about him was, it seems like he has a good head on his shoulders for being such a young kid. I think he's not even 19 years old yet, so he's really young. But I think he came in his organization last year after they drafted him with a really good head on his shoulders. I think he's only maturing more and more as we go through the season.
All right, so yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say. So we'll go ahead and talk to Tristan McKenzie.
Okay, so last year the Indians drafted you, signed you. You spent the whole season out in extended spring, or did you do AZL?
I went straight to AZL.
Okay, so now you've been there. You've spent extended spring this year. What have you learned since being drafted up to this point? What have you been working on?
I mean, for me, it was mainly just kind of finding how everything works, especially because pro ball is at a different pace than high school ball. So it's kind of trying to find where you fit in and kind of figure out the schedule and kind of being on time and doing certain things that professional players have to do.
Have they taught you anything new? Have they changed anything with your mechanics at all yet, or has it been?
No, I mean, they mainly kind of let me do me. If they see something that they want to implement or something they see that they could change a little bit, they'll kind of butt in or they'll kind of give their advice, and then I just kind of take it for what it's worth, and if it works, it works.
Now, what school you're dedicated to before you got drafted last year?
Vanderbilt University.
What convinced you to sign with the Indians as opposed to go to Vanderbilt? I mean, honestly, Vanderbilt's a powerhouse baseball school. I mean, what made you come?
I mean, mainly just kind of getting a head start on my career, especially my professional career. Just being in a different environment other than college where it's kind of win-win-win, and this is kind of more developmental based.
What's been the biggest adjustment you had made so far with the professional baseball going from high school over to here? I mean, you played in games, obviously, so you did AZL last year. What has been the biggest?
The way the hitters are, you can't really blow by guys, especially like I did in high school. It's more you have to outthink hitters or just kind of do different things.
What was your mindset when you went into draft? You knew you were going to get drafted in the first round? Do you have an idea?
I mean, I based whatever I knew on what the mock draft said, but I played it by ear. I didn't necessarily take anything like too seriously. I just kind of tried to enjoy it.
Have the Indians talked to you before they announced you're going to the draft? They've been in contact with you beforehand?
I mean, I was in contact with a lot of teams. The Indians were one of the teams I was in contact with, so I wasn't really expecting anybody to pick me specifically. So you were surprised just as I was.
What really attracted you to the Indians organization to sign then? I mean, you said you wanted to get your pro career started, but what specifically about the Indians drafting you was what attracted you to come over here?
I mean, I did a lot of research on a lot of different teams, and the Indians were really up there for developing their young pitchers and kind of moving guys up and just making sure they did all the right things.
So what's your repertoire? What pitches do you throw currently?
I throw 3 different pitches. I throw fastball, curveball, and changeup.
What's your max velocity on your fastball?
95.
They're going to ask you to add any start pitches, you think, this year, or maybe not down the feature? I
don't think the Indians are going to ask me to add anything. I think they want me to work on what I have and try and make those the best as possible before I try to move on to anything else.
Okay. So what's the extended spring training? What's the atmosphere like over there? What are you guys doing from day to day?
It's wake up real early. Pretty much just go out and play baseball every day. It's same old, and it's kind of developmental based. Same thing as the Indians' whole structure around. It's going out there and working on specific things. If you need to work on your fastball, that's what you work on that day. If you feel like your curveball's off, you work on that. If you work on your changeup, maybe it's something in your delivery, your leg lift, your drive leg, how you land, your direction, just little things. Anything that you feel can help you get to that next level.
So walk me through the past year. So you got drafted last June. You went out to Arizona after you signed. You played at the AZL.
Yes.
Between the end of the AZL season and I guess extended spring started March? You went over extended spring training.
Spring training started in March, and the extended spring training started at the end of March.
So what did you do between the end of last season and then the start of spring training?
I did a lot of little things. I got invited to instructional league, so I went to that, and then I had a little bit of time at home, so I went home and I worked out. And then I went back to Arizona for a little strength camp that the Indians did. So it was kind of like them overseeing my progress in the off season when I was on my own, and just so they can kind of put their input in and kind of have a little bit more supervision of my specific workouts and a bunch of other kids. So I did that, and then I went home for another 2 weeks and continued my own workouts, and then went out for spring training.
Instructional league, is that out in Arizona too, or?
Yeah. Instructional league was in Arizona, and so was the strength camp.
Now, what's the instructional league? What do they do with you there?
Instructional league was like they invite a lot of their younger guys and guys that they think need work. So it's kind of like extended spring training, but it's a little bit. It's after the season.
Yeah.
It's more for guys they think either need a little bit more innings, or just guys they think need a little bit more work, or guys they just want to see more.
Now, so going into the season, do the Indians have any kind of like innings cap on you they want to kind of watch with you, or is it kind of going to let you just see how it goes for the season here in Mahoning Valley?
I have no clue. I think I'm just going to go out there and try and perform best of my ability.
So obviously you're tall. Did you grow up playing more than one sport besides baseball?
Not really. Not in high school, no. I mean, when I was younger, I played a little bit of basketball, played a little bit of volleyball, but once I got to high school, I kind of stuck to one sport.
What got you into baseball? Made you commit to baseball?
I mean, I always loved baseball. Baseball's always been my first love. Any other sport I played was kind of just on the side. Baseball's always been my main focus.
Anybody else in your family play baseball?
My younger brother.
Okay. Your parents or anything?
No.
Not really athletes?
They play sports, but I don't think they played anything like specific like in high school and or college.
When in high school did you figure out you might be able to actually make it professionally? When did it kind of click that you kind of had the skills to, to make it up here?
I mean, I got a lot of attention going into my senior year, so my junior summer. That was right around the time that I committed to Vanderbilt, and then a lot of pro scouts started coming to watch me, and it didn't really become a realization that I was going to get drafted or that the draft is actually a possibility until a couple months before the draft when things started to get really serious.
What's the biggest game to the point in your career you've pitched in, whether it's high school or in the professional ball? What's the biggest thing you've ever had to go into?
State semifinal game my senior season in high school.
Now, just because of the competition, just because of the semifinal, or what specifically about it was made it the most challenging appearance here?
That was in my school history. I think that was the second time we'd made it to states. So I mean, there was a lot of not pressure, but I mean there was a lot of excitement around it, especially for the school itself, being that was the second time that we'd been there, and it was a baseball team that was kind of scrappy. So we played to the best of our ability. I mean, we lost, but I mean, the amount of fans that we had there's a lot of scouts there as well. So it was kind of not nerve-wracking, but it was exciting. It was exciting. It's kind of butterflies in your stomach, anxious.
Did you play anybody else in high school that's been drafted in the pros? Did you face any kind of competition that's like
face any competition?
Or even anybody on your team, either way?
I mean, I played with Austin Smith. He got drafted by the Padres. I played with a lot of different players. I played with Brendan Rodgers. He got drafted by the Rockies last year.
Where'd you grow up? I'm sorry.
Palm Beach, Florida.
Okay. Warm weather year round.
Yeah.
You're gonna adjust to being up in Ohio now.
As of right now, I don't think
it's fine now.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be too bad in the summer. But hopefully I'll enjoy it. It's East Coast. It's a little bit different than Arizona. Arizona's a little bit dry, so I'm happy to be back on the East Coast.
Think weather out there affects the way your pitches are seen by the way your pitches are going out of your hands? Did it affect it in any way?
As far as I know, no. I think it's kind of just a mental thing, and I think elements do play into it, but I think there's a way around everything.
What are you looking into this year to improve? What do you want to achieve this season? I know it's probably a question you get all the time, but I mean,
I mean, hopefully I throw a perfect game every time out, but I mean, just do the best of my ability, give my team the best chance to win the game.
You have any family come up here to watch you pitch at all this season, you think?
Hopefully my family. I think my family's gonna get up here sometime. I don't know. I necessarily know exactly when.
Hopefully they do. Appreciate the time and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's good stuff. You also had the chance to talk to Juan Hillman, right, Dave?
Yeah, Juan Hillman, he's another Florida native, another guy in high school. The difference is he's a lefty. He was noticeably shorter than McKenzie, though he's still tall. He's listed at 6'2". He's also a broader shoulder. He's 183 is his weight in. Hillman, he was a very impressive interview as well. I guess I would say he's more jovial than McKenzie. Not so much jovial. He kidded around more. But I think Hillman is just as impressive as McKenzie was. And again, he's very excited to get into his organization. He said how the Indians have a history of producing good young pitchers is why he came here out of the draft instead of going to college.
Yeah, so you think like McKenzie's like more all business and Hillman here to have fun?
I mean, McKenzie laughed with me as well, but I think Hillman was just a much more joking type of personality.
Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and talk to Hillman here and get a little perspective from him.
Well, actually.
So last year you were drafted by the Indians, second round. What college were you committed to before they drafted you?
University of Central Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, great academic school.
So why did you decide to sign instead?
I feel like pro ball was just fit for me. Ready to start my career. Pretty much grew up through a baseball family, and the year before Nick Gordon was drafted. He was like my brother.
Same team?
Minnesota Twins.
I mean, same high school team, I mean.
Yeah, same high school team.
Okay.
Seeing all the things he went through to get up to the point we at now, just like all motivation, and I knew it was the right choice for me. So.
What did the Indians have to do to kind of twist your arm all, get you to sign? You were eager to sign when they drafted you, like, I'm going. I mean, was there second guessing in the process?
Pretty much felt comfortable with the scout that drafted me, Mike, and felt like he was communicating well. Great organization, good with the prospects, and the whole organization they're great, and they make sure you're healthy, make sure everything's going well for you. If you're aching or anything, they get right on you, no pushing you back or holding it off. Great organization, fun to play with, great players to be around. Just pretty much just eager to sign too as well.
Now you said that you grew up in a baseball family. What's the background with baseball in your family?
It's my second family, godparents, the Gordons.
Okay.
Tom Gordon and Yolanda Gordon, the mom of Nick Gordon and their family.
So you grew up real close with them?
Yeah, I grew up real close with them. Watching DeVaris Gordon play, D. Gordon, watching him play, hanging out with him and his little brother Nate, working out as well, doing everything they do and just following their footsteps helped me along the way. So,
okay.
Just baseball.
I mean, did you ever play any other sports growing up?
Oh yeah, I was a football man. Always football first.
But the women in baseball could take over then. When did you figure out that this was kind of what you wanted to go with?
I'll say sophomore year. Ended football. I was actually a quarterback, and I love the game. Still do to this day.
What switched the switch in your head to say, you know what, dedicating myself to baseball then?
Actually, like showcases and exploring my talents and playing with great guys, against great guys, great competition. I was excelling as well, and I just fell a few times. But at a young age, playing baseball, but I stuck with it. And I feel like I'm more better and had a better chance, better opportunity, better living with baseball.
Longer career, that's for sure.
Yeah, longer career as well.
So
hoping to have a long one. So
when the Indians drafted you and signed, did they get time to what kind of plans they had for you in your development? Did they kind of give you like a kind of a roadmap, so like ideas?
They said pretty much just saying they're not gonna rush anything. Me being so young, so I understand the process and I'm just trusting it. So
what pitches do you throw? What's your arsenal?
I throw a 4-seam fastball, circle change, and like a split change as well, and curveball.
What's your top velocity? What do you?
Coming out of high school, I was 95, but recently it's been more 90, 93. More recently, but if I sit around 90, 93, I feel like I'm in a great spot. I'm not really too big on trying to throw hard. Just
right.
As long as I'm hitting my spots, getting hitters to roll over and strike out as well, and get outs and get my team and to get some more at bats. Hopefully, a lot of bats. Hopefully, hitting the ball pretty well.
What's your best pitch then? What's your out pitch? You go to?
Oh, my go-to has to be my changeup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I throw my changeup no matter what the count is. 3-0, 0-2, 3-2. I feel like I can throw my changeup whenever.
What's your main experience so far? So you did AZL last year. You didn't extend spring all season so far this year up until you came here. What did you learn so far?
I just learned to just stay focused and have a routine. If you have no routine, pretty much everything's gonna feel out of sync, and that's what it felt. That's what I felt my first year in AZL. I had no routine coming out of high school, no routine as well. Just trying to come in and pitch, and yeah, you guys are talented up here at this level, so and everyone's talented. So just had a routine, just stay focused and stay within myself, and don't try to overdo things. Because when you overdo things, it doesn't always work out as well. So
you noticed a significant difference between the high school competition and coming into the AZL last year.
Yeah, big difference. Like you're facing everyone's number 3 hitter, like the power hitter, or ones who always get on base. And the game of the pace of the game excelled as well. Everything's moving a little faster. Runners are a lot more quicker. Batters are stronger. Everything just sometimes it'll get up to your head, and that's my main focus. Just lock everything out and just
keep the game in pace. Yeah.
And just keep the same pose there. Stay within myself.
Have you tweaked anything with your delivery or anything at all yet so far since you've been drafted, or is it kind of let you go and see how you do to start?
Using more of my lower half. Coming to high school, no lower half at all. Just all arm, and now using my lower half as well.
What differences have you noticed by doing that?
Just more strength coming out the mound with arm, less pressure on my arm, and arms stay a lot more healthier than they did in high school. So I'm in a good position right now.
So what's the extended spring like? What's your day-to-day basis when you're extending spring from since spring training ended up until you just came out here? You were in extended spring training. What was the routine? What was it like every single day down there?
Waking up 6 o'clock in the morning, heading to the field, get out there early in the morning, be out there on the field stretching 7:30 every day. Get your running in, get your throwing program in, your bands, your weighted balls, and things like that. And
you were playing games though during that time, weren't there, like scrimmages type of deal?
Yeah, we probably threw a total of about. I have no idea, but I threw a lot of innings, a good amount of innings. It helped me a lot. Just get the feel of my pitches and command the strike zone a lot more. And, actually bond more with the team as well, even with the guys are here. Like some of these guys I haven't even played with last year in AZL, so
right.
Pretty much got a closer bond with a lot of my teammates, and feel like everyone's in a great spot to start the season.
Do they have any kind of limits on you for this season, like an innings limit, pitch limit, any kind of things you had kind of have to follow through with? Not that you know of.
Yeah, if they have anything,
I'm sure your manager knows if there's anything on you.
Yeah, if they have anything, then I'm just going with it. I trust them. Great organization. Great with pitchers, so just ready to get started.
So this last question, did you play against Tristan in high school? Did you guys ever face off?
No, not at all. I wish. It would have been a great game.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, appreciate taking the time, and good luck to start the season.
All right, thank you.
All right, so moving on now, we're going to be talking to local product from this year's draft, Mitch Longo. Now, Corey, you had the chance to talk to him.
I did, yeah, and the thing with Mitch is he's so proud to be in this organization. He grew up in Mayfield, Ohio, which isn't too far from Cleveland. He's really excited. You're going to hear him talk about it, how he's just proud to be in the organization and to have the opportunity to go play for the team that you grew up watching and loving and being a fan of. That's got to be something special, and you're going to hear that coming from Mitch today.
All right, so let's go ahead and bring in Mitch.
All right, our guest for the Farm Report podcast today is Mitch Longo. Mitch, a resident of Mayfield, Ohio, local, coming in Northeast Ohio, playing in Mahoning Valley. What's this mean for you?
It's a dream come true. I mean, every time I just got goosebumps from hearing you say that. Growing up being an Indians fan, first game I ever went to was an Indians game, and you know, it's still surreal. It really hasn't hit me yet, but I mean, playing in this organization is more than I could ever ask for.
Just how much more does it mean to you to be growing up a fan of the team and then playing here for the organization? How much more does that motivate you to really get to that point?
Oh, I mean, it means the world to me. I mean, not that I would need any additional motivation, but I mean, having everyone locally kind of behind me, reaching out and wishing me the best of luck, and being so close to home, and having all the support kind of coming out and cheering me on, it just kind of gives me the extra drive, you know, to really aspire to do my best and get better each and every day, and hopefully eventually be up at Progressive Field and playing for the Indians.
At OU, what was one thing in your game, you know, from high school going to college? What's one thing in your game that you worked on and then you think it really got you to this point?
I'm trying to stay within myself, you know, not trying to do too much. Sometimes I get too too amped up and too focused on trying to be perfect. And, I feel like through my years in college, I kind of settled down a little bit, and I'm going to continue to do that here and kind of stay within myself and stay relaxed and calm and play the game I love.
Over the off season with workouts and all that, what's one part of your game that you really worked on to try to maybe it's a little weaker, but you want to try to strengthen that up a little bit?
Definitely my arm strength. I'm going to continue to keep on getting stronger and faster, but I think I definitely need to build my arm up a lot more. Can I get a little more flexibility in my hips so I can take better routes in the field and get a little better in the outfield.
And at the plate, what's one part at the plate that you might be able to work on more so than one other part?
Just being patient, not getting myself out, not giving up at bats. If I get down 0-2 early or I'm behind the count or I don't get a pitch called my way, just stick with the at bat, don't give anything away, and battle my butt off until the end.
So you've been up in Mayfield, you've been in Athens, you're here kind of in between Mahoning Valley and in the Niles area. What's your impressions so far of the area?
I have never been here while it has been sunny, so I'm hoping to see some sun within these next few days. I've been here quite a bit and I haven't seen much sun, so that's one thing I'm wishing for here soon.
What was the drafting process like for you? Was it kind of rigorous? It's rigorous for some, and it's a little easier, and you're kind of patient. You're waiting for others. But what was that process like for you?
It was pretty stressful. I was projected to go 4 through 8, and I fell to 14. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm home. This is where I want to be. This is the team I would love to play for, and I'm blessed with this opportunity to be here. And it's a weight lifted off my shoulders at this point to be here.
Which outfield position would you say you're more comfortable playing in more so than another?
I think center field and left. I am predominantly a center fielder, but past few years I've been working a little bit in left field, kind of getting the hang of a corner. So I definitely think center is my main spot, but I wouldn't mind playing left.
Lastly, you're one of so far 2 picks to be here, but have you mingled with anyone on the team? Are you getting a little closer with anybody? Because you got to build the team chemistry. But who's really one person that you've really come together with?
Me and Mike. I don't even know his last name at this point. I'm still trying to work on names. There's so much Spanish and different languages being spoken. It's hard to remember guys' names. And I've only been here for a few hours. Me and Mike met right when I got here, so hope to see him on the bump here soon and build more relationships with everybody else here.
How good is your Spanish?
It's not as bad as some may think. I took 4 years of it in high school. My center fielder is from Puerto Rico, so I don't know how much of that can really translate to communicating that well. But I guess I could talk a little smack with the guys around me, but I don't know how they'll take it. So I got to kind of get my feet wet first with them before I start dropping some bombs on them.
It's obviously a long process, but when we're on the last game of the season, when we're in September, what's one thing you want to look back on and say, wow, I really improved in this area?
Definitely. Staying patient at the plate and just getting good reads in the outfield, playing a solid defense. It's been that's raised a lot of questions for me as a player as I've been here. I'm not the best outfielder I could be to my potential, and I want to prove some people wrong that I can be a really good outfielder, and I'm looking to prove some people wrong.
Mitch Longo from Mayfield, Ohio, now to Niles, Mahoning Valley. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you what, this has been a lot of fun coming here and talking to some of these guys. And I'll tell you what, not to take away from what Travis Fryman did last year, but I think that they have the right man at the helm in Edwin Rodriguez.
I think for a guy as experienced as Edwin was, and again, I'm not taking anything away from Travis Fryman because he did a great job last year, and that's a testament to see how Willie Castro has done in Lake County, and Mark Mathias has done, and Daniel Salters have done up in Lynchburg. So, not to knock Travis Fryman, but to have Edwin Rodriguez, to have the managerial experience, not only throughout the farm system, but also the major league level. He's had major league experience as a manager. To have a guy like that at the helm, to put these guys into work and to develop these guys, he talked about it himself. It's about development. It's about getting these guys to learn and differentiating here from what you see in Akron or Columbus as opposed. It's just about learning, and you get something new every day out of your players. And, this roster, as compared to last year's roster, it looks to be a little more powerful. It looks to have a little more pop. The infield, we're going to see 3 returning starters. I'm projecting at least in Alexis Pantoja, Nate Winfrey, and Emmanuel Tapia to go with Luke Wakamatsu. So you're going to have a solid infield in there, backed up by some solid starting pitching. Again, McKenzie and Hillman, Dave talked to them, and those 2 kids that just, for as high as they've been they've been drafted and coveted as prospects, they really have the demeanor just to go out and work every day and to put it together. So it's going to be an exciting year here down in Niles for the Scrappers baseball.
Yeah, so Dave, I'll bring you in and to our kind of wrap things up. What do you take from today, talking to the guys, talking to Edwin? It seems like they've got a really solid group here and a really good guy to lead them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not too familiar with Edwin Rodriguez as a manager. I met him before once at Akron a couple of years ago, but I didn't really talk to him that well. But look about him more so than anything else is he's a Latin American manager, and there's so many Latin American players on the squad that I think having that ability to talk to them in their native language is going to be super great for this organization, for this team, help these guys develop better. I think it's what not take away from white managers, English-speaking managers, they do a great job, but being able to talk to these native players on native language, it's going to be huge for their development. I think it can't hurt. I mean, honestly,
I think it adds a comfort level is what it does, and that you're in kind of, I don't want to say in a strange area because I'm not going to knock my hometown essentially, but to be at in Northeast Ohio, as opposed to Arizona, where most of these guys were last year, and coming out of high school like some of these guys were, to have, and Niles as an area is kind of homey. It's a smaller town. Those that have been around here know what I'm talking about. It's a smaller town. There's a lot of cliquey communities around here. So when something big like Scrappers baseball comes around, the community kind of rallies behind it, and it adds a comfort level. And if you see this team start winning ball games, you're going to see Eastwood Field start to get packed. And if they don't win games, not that it's a knock on anybody else, but that's when Edwin Rodriguez is going to make his money. That's where he's going to, add the comfort level in. He's going to bring a sense of, I've had the experience, I've been there and done that. And I just think that this team is in better position to win. And again, not knocking anyone that was on the team last year or Travis Frymer or anyone like that, but I think this team on paper right now is poised to improve in the win column, and in turn that'll improve the morale of some of these players. We talk about how young some of these guys are. I mean, Tristan McKenzie and Juan Hillman, born in 1997. They're not even 20 years old yet. So it's just the added comfort level to have an experienced manager. And yes, you talk about the Latin American players, to have the comfort with him. I think that adds to it. So it should be a good first year of baseball for most of these prospects here in Mahoning Valley.
I like the point you bring up about the comfort level because, like you said, these guys, especially the Latin American players, they come in, they're young. This is a new environment for them. I mean, they're still just getting used to the idea of being in America, most of them. So to have them, their first level have that kind of comfort level, a guy who's been there and done that, and they can relate to them on an ethnic level, I think that's definitely a great for them. And I think that's definitely helped, not only it's going to help them here, but it's helped Edwin with the players he's worked with in his career. Like we mentioned in the interview, he's worked with Francisco Lindor, Jose Ramirez, Jesus Aguilar, Giovanni Urshela, and not just saying he just helps the Latin American players. He's a great manager and baseball man. He'll help any player who's under his tutelage. But I like the point you bring up about the comfort level, and I think that's going to be huge for some of the guys coming in to the team this year who are new to the area, new to the organization, and even some are new to the country. So and the culture. So that's.
And I tell you what, on field, it starts with opening day in the first series. They open up with West Virginia, the defending champions of the New York Penn League. They're affiliated with the Pirates. And we know the Pirates as a system, what they bring. They bring a lot of nice prospects to the table. So these kids are going to be battle-tested right from the get-go, and that's going to be important. If they can come out, it's a 2-game series versus West Virginia. If they can come out with one of those two, great. If they can sweep them, fantastic. That's a great confidence boost going. They go on the road on the weekend to start the season after those 2 games, but just to get them, winning cures everything, doesn't it? Yeah. So I think that if they could come out against this West Virginia team, especially being the defending champions in the New York Penn League, then I think that's a great confidence boost for them, and I think that just sets things up even further for a good season.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to coming over here a few times this season and watching these guys play. Dave, do you have any final thoughts before we sign off here?
One thing is, coming in today, didn't know a lot of these guys, didn't know a lot of coaches, but I'll get today, feeling good about for this team. I think I have a positive feeling it's going to be a good year.
Yep. Corey, anything final you want to say?
I just think that when you differentiate this level from, again, you see Akron and we see a lot of players from Columbus. you got to realize that, wins and losses are cool to have, but they're not everything at this level. It's about player development. And again, I talked about it's a testament to what Mark Mathias and what Daniel Salters are doing in Lynchburg. They completely forewent Lake County. They didn't see any time in Lake County. They're right in Lynchburg. They're playing at that level already. So it just shows how important it is to be at this level on top of your game. And I think that's what's so cool about this level in the New York Penn League in Mahoning Valley is that you get some of these players that are trying to build their careers up. And this is really, I don't want to say it's a weed out level, but I want to say it's a separator in a sense that you can tell who's going to take that next step and who still needs time and then who may or may not be suitable for this. So I'm ready to go. Opening day's tomorrow. We're recording the podcast on the Thursday before opening day. I'm excited to go. I'm ready, and I'm glad you guys. Dave, you're from Austintown, right around here. I'm from Brookfield, right in our neck of the woods here. But Jake, you made the drive over here. Glad we got to be here today.
Yeah, great to. I love getting everybody in the same room. I like what we do on Google Hangouts, but sometimes it just feels like the chemistry is just better when we're all together in the same room. So looking forward to doing a couple more of these before the season's out. We'll be getting up to Lake County for sure at some point. We'll look into maybe Columbus. I don't know. Maybe we'll do another one in Akron.
Maybe Columbus, and if God's willing, then Lynchburg.
I am going to be heading down to Lynchburg at the end of next month, so I don't know. Maybe we can work something out there, but We'll keep you posted. But yeah, be sure to follow us on Twitter. As always, I'm at Jake D Baseball. Corey's at CD Christen, and you're at History_Dreamer.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, so be sure to follow us on Twitter for all the updates on podcasts, live remotes. We'll be sure to have more of those before the season's out because this is a lot of fun. I like getting out here, kind of getting our hands dirty a little bit.
That's right. Yep. Good to be back, Jake.
All right, so that's going to do it for us today. So for Dave Roberts and Corey Christen, I'm Jake Dungan. This is the Farm Report Podcast, and we say to you, have a good one.